into it.
I was gonna ask you that if we had like an intro, like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
I used to, but it's so cheesy. Like, I hate it so much. I hate even like YouTube. That's like the number one way for like if somebody has a YouTube video for me to just immediately click on anything.
Oh,
else.
really?
It's just like if I get on there and it's just super obnoxious, just like, "What's up, YouTube?" Blah blah blah.
Like the Philip DeFranco thing.
Oh,
I feel like everybody has little.
I love his show.
I
hate that.
I was watching a video of his today, and I noticed I'm like, that's like it's a little bit longer than necessary intro.
It's funny because there's other YouTubers that do like this parody thing of the Philip DeFranco challenge where they try to say everything he says at the speed that he says it, and most people can't because it's just like
yeah, he talks fast.
Stop.
But he's been doing it for so long, he has it down pat.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see all the like super old YouTubers. Like I don't know if you're paid attention to like Casey Neistat and some of those guys, and it's just like, oh yeah, you were doing this from the beginning. But,
like Smosh, the Smosh guy,
I forgot about those
Jenna
guys.
Marbles.
I also just realized this is still up there. That's okay.
We get to look at ourselves. It's fine.
It's fine. They probably can't even really see it. Here's my Discord. Actually, I don't think that's Matt Zeke. All right. Hello.
Hello.
That I'm still probably gonna leave all that stuff in too.
Oh, that's fine.
But
Whatever.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am joined by the wonderful Mariah. So both I wouldn't say kicking and screaming, but like maybe slightly coerced, because I remember the first time you were like, oh, I don't know about that, and I was like, no, it'd be great, it'd be fine. And
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay.
So we're gonna try.
I in the middle of a drunken party,
yes.
I remember bringing up the subject of having you on, and then we're like, well, what would I talk about?
Yeah, I was just like, I have no idea, because honestly, I feel like most of your audience would not be interested in whatever I have to say.
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
You'd be very surprised. I mean, the first couple of episodes were literally just like, hey, Twitch and streaming and video games, and then like the fifth one.
But that's the thing, is like video games, and I know a lot of people in the place that we work, they play card games and stuff like that. So, but
by the fifth episode, it was like, all right, who are you voting for? And like it got really deep into politics and stuff. But I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so with you, I thought it would be very interesting because you're a lot more into like cosmetology and like fashion and stuff like that. I'm clueless on that. Which, well, I won't say clueless. Like, I pay attention to, like, the drama shit. But, like, not so much to...
There's a lot of drama. Yeah, oh, my God.
I think, though, from my perspective, it's just humorous. Like, there's no... Like,
I mean, it's kind of humorous to me, too, just because of sometimes how ridiculous it is and how out of proportion it gets blown up to be. It's, like, the Jeffree Star with Tati and James. Like, that was all because James was using somebody else's vitamins other than Tati's, which is his friend. Yeah. And then, I don't know, like the Manny Laura debacle.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. It's just stupid thing. People get in fights over petty things, and then it just blows up. So there's so many followers.
I guess I do kind of want to talk about that kind of stuff too, but I guess start off, what was there a moment that like kind of clicked for you? I was like, oh, this is something that I'm genuinely interested in, besides of just like an everyday task kind of thing, where it changed to being like, oh,
I mean, I started doing makeup like a little bit, I want to say when I was probably like 16, 17, and that was literally just like terrible eyeliner, like the raccoon eye eyeliner and some lip gloss or something. But then it started progressing, and then I had a job at the mall, and all the girls there wore makeup, and so they kind of got me into.
Is it like a cosmetology kind of thing, or is it
no?
Just, okay, all right, cool. Yeah.
I worked at a frozen yogurt place.
Oh yeah.
But right before I got there was actually a sign that they ended up taking down that said that you had to wear makeup.
Wow.
While
yeah,
you're on
they
the
should
job.
probably.
Yeah. So that obviously got taken down, but all the girls who were working there were really into makeup. And one of my best friends, Sam, she was super into makeup, and she kind of helped me and taught me a little bit. But
is that the
I've learned
same Sam that's friend with Liz? Or is that a different
no, that's
Sam?
a different
Okay,
Sam.
right, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I think I might know, but no.
Yeah, but and then I honestly just started getting into it after that by myself and just was watching YouTube tutorials. I learned a lot from YouTube. A lot.
It's I guess from my perspective, I've I've only ever worn like makeup twice, and it's both been for like film. Like
okay, I thought maybe like Halloween or something. Okay, that's cool.
No, it's just like legit TV, like camera makeup,
that's
stuff
really
like that.
Cool, though.
I was on a game show when I was a little bit younger, and they did
really?
me up. I was not expecting that. I was just
what
like,
game show were you on? Can you say?
Yeah. I don't even. I've been trying to find it for a while now. I was able to find it before. It was a show called Family Connections.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
It's trash. It was it was
trash.
It's garbage. If you can find it, there's a great piece of me where they have you introduce yourself, and I had to have been like 12, maybe 13 tops. No, I had to have been like 12 or 11. Okay.
And they put makeup on you at 12?
Yeah. And what was
Wow.
great about it was the fact that at the beginning where you're introducing yourself, like, oh, my name's so and so, and I'm this year old, and I go to this school, whatever. I had to repeat those lines so many times that I started crying as a kid. So I think the one that they kept, like, it was fine, but you can tell, like, it looked like they were forcing me to just be like, read the line. But it was a funny experience, I guess. But there was that, and then there was the other time was so stupid. I was at a convention, and you ever seen somebody who's like cosplaying but clearly doesn't, like, they're not trying to actually cosplay, they just put like a paper bag on and like, hey, I'm this guy. Yeah, that's what I did. And then somebody was like, oh, we need to take some pictures, and I was like, but why are you trying to take a picture of me? I was like, no, it's funny, it's cool. And I was like, sure. And then they did me up, and I was just like, whatever.
Wait, so then they did your makeup?
Yeah, because they had like the whole like full setups and everything. Okay. They wanted me in like this group thing with a bunch of other people, and I was like,
so did they do everybody else's makeup?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Anime conventions get a little weird. But
then you get your makeup done for free. That's
sure.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I took that stuff off immediately because I was just like, I'm not walking around the rest of the convention like this. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, it depends on your skin too, because you can break out from it.
Yeah, I would imagine that might be a problem for me. I don't think I have like sensitive skin, but I think it's just my skin's probably like, what is this shit that you just put on me? I don't know what this is. It's super foreign. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess from the outside looking in, it seems like something on the. My first thought in terms of like makeup and stuff like that, it seems almost like frivolous, I guess. Like it's like something that's like it. I've had this conversation with many people, many women that are just like, yeah, well, whatever the reason or motivation behind it, and then I'm the guy that's like, we don't care. Like, stop. Like, you don't have to do that.
Oh,
but
my
it's
favorite
not, like,
comment is like when guys come up to me and is like, why do you always wear makeup? Why do you wear so much makeup?
I've learned that over the years, and I'm just
you're
like,
coming to work, or you're just doing this. Why are you wearing makeup? And I'm like, I don't wear it for you.
Yeah, that's not the point.
I wear it for me. Yeah. Like, I have anxiety, and it's actually one of the ways that like helps me relax. But to me, it's become a part of my daily routine that I look forward to the most, because I used to like draw and paint when I was younger, so it's kind of like artistic expression, because you can go crazy with your eyes, or you can do crazy looks. Like for Halloween, I normally do crazy looks because it's fun for me, but it's just an outlet that I enjoy. So,
do you think of it? I guess, does it ever cross your mind that maybe there's like a line, I guess, that crosses? Or how much of it is it? I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. I think there's times though where it might be also like it. I think it starts for you, like it's a personal thing. This is coming from someone who's super uneducated, so feel free to be like, no, that's bullshit. But this is just a theory, I guess, I've had. does it at a certain point become both, where it's both an outward thing and like I that's why I guess anytime somebody's like, oh, this is not obviously not for you, I'm like, yes, but like there's always the but behind it, and I'm just like,
no, but like there are times like if I know I'm gonna go out on a date or something like that, like I want to look nice and I want the person I'm with to think I look nice, and of course, like when you're going out, you want people to think that like, you look presentable or whatever it may be. So I like looking nice, so I do it, because I enjoy doing it. It helps my anxiety, but yeah, also because I like the way I look when I have makeup on.
Yeah.
So
I
it's a little bit of everything.
Talking to another friend of mine because I used to work in a live production industry kind of thing where I would record like dance competitions and then we sell them to people. And
oh yeah, that's right. Tell me about that a little bit.
It's a little weird though when I guess I see like really young girls, like 5 years old, 6 years old,
pageant and makeup.
I'm just like, wait a minute, like I think this might be the line right here where it's like I get like, what you're going for.
I wish I had your skin, little girl. Yeah. 6-year-old girl, can I switch with you, please? Because their skin is flawless. Like for people who are my age or older, like sometimes we have acne or skin concerns that we, makeup helps us hide that. But these little girls have beautiful skin. Yep. They don't need to be hiding that or putting on bright red lipstick. I don't know. It's scary, that.
Man. Like there's literally moments where I'll be walking and it just looks like a short, like adult woman just like walking past you. I'm just like, that looks really creepy. But
have you seen the pageant girls with the flippers?
Flippers?
Yeah, their teeth. They're like fake false teeth that they put. Yeah.
What? Okay.
Because when you're a kid, obviously you lose teeth. So in the pageant world, they have these things called flippers that you put up in your teeth, so it looks like you have perfectly straight white teeth.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I'm like, they're kids. They're supposed to be kids. Like, let them be kids.
Do you think so? Like, you said you started this kind of thing around like you said 15, 16?
Like 16, 17.
16, 17. Would you say that there's a point where that should be or shouldn't be, or do you think that like just do whatever you want?
Back then my dad would kind of get angry. He's like, what's that crap on your face? Wipe that off. But like I said, I was only doing my eyes. I wasn't doing like full face makeup, like foundation. That's the stuff you put on your face.
I'm gonna ask you to walk me through this in a second, so
okay. I got you. But I didn't start putting foundation on, I think, until I was like, I wasn't even that much older, like 18, 19 years old. But there's so many people in the beauty community now that are starting at like 11 years old, 10 years old. Like, I know a lot of those young kids, they just do it in their home or to make YouTube videos and they don't go out like that in public. Sure. But even a lot of the 15 and 16-year-olds nowadays, they wear it to school, they wear it out. So I don't really have an opinion about it. If they want to do it, then that's up to them. They can do it. And as long as their parents are okay with it, then it's fine. But if my kid wanted to do it, then I'd be like, okay. Yeah. But if they were like 11, I'd be like, okay, you can play with makeup and then we're going to take it off. But
I think that's where I get a little like, wait a minute. Is like when it's like super young kids or like 6 years old, 7 years old. And it almost, I can't tell you how many times I've seen little girls on stage like tap dancing and stuff, and then halfway through it just break down. Just like they clearly don't want to be there. They're being forced to be there by their parents, and I'm just like, as the guy with the camera, I'm like, just like
there watching.
Okay, like kid. It's super awkward, but it's also like very sad. So like I guess that has been my big connection to like cosmetology and things of that nature, like show stuff. But I kind of wanted to pick your brain on like the other stuff outside of that.
Yeah.
Like I like, what was there a moment where, I guess I kind of asked this already, but like I'm trying to understand the world of makeup as it grew up with you, I guess. Like was there is it just this like very nonchalant kind of thing, or is it special in a way? Like that's so to me it seems like a hobby, but a hobby that goes a little bit more than that. Mm-hmm. And I might be wrong. That might just be something that I'm perceiving, and people are just like, no, this is just like brushing your teeth in the morning. Like,
no, I mean, like I said, it has a special place for me because, like I said, I do have anxiety. Yeah, so it helps me, but it's also like the artistic expression. But I mean, yeah, I honestly don't know what sparked it. I just think I started doing it, and then I'm like, oh wow, I really enjoy doing this, so I just kept doing it. But as far as learning, yeah, I didn't really have anybody to teach me. Like, I would ask my friends about products, but as far as being taught, it was all YouTube because my mom left when I was 12. Gotcha. So I didn't have anybody to like ask, hey, can you help me? Yeah. So, but for me, it's just super relaxing, and it honestly just relaxes me and it makes me happy.
All right, so walk me through it. Like, what is how? First of all,
I
the
almost
biggest
thought
thing
about bringing my makeup bag and being like, name what this is. I did that with my friend a couple weeks ago. He came from South Florida, and it was so much fun. We were both drunk, and I was like, name what is it's like, this? I have no idea.
That would have been really funny because like you just be like, I'd have been like, eyeliner. All of this.
But my favorite is like, okay, what is this? And then they pick it up and they read it. I'm like, okay, where does it go?
Yeah.
What do you do with it? And then they're just like, it's a hat. I don't know.
Like, but, so how long does like your normal day? Ooh, okay, all right. Oof. I'm curious.
Okay, so I was supposed to be here at 7:30.
All right, I was wondering if that was it, but it was.
That's why I was late today.
I was literally sitting here at 7. I was like 7:36, and I was just like, haha. Like
I hate being that girl, but I am that girl. My friends know. They know. They're like, if we need to be somewhere by 8 and she needs to be at the house by 7:30, tell her that she has to be there by 7:15 because she will be there at 7:30. I hate it. It's a terrible quality. But it depends. If I'm in a rush, I can do my makeup in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But if I'm taking my time, like tonight, and this was kind of fast for me.
Okay.
I spent an hour on my makeup. If I am going out somewhere, I can take up to an hour and a half to do my makeup.
Okay. So wait, I think so. I'm trying to make this make sense in my brain. So like, I'm assuming some of that hour is waiting for maybe stuff to dry and kind of stuff. But no, it's just literally actually doing stuff.
Okay. Well, part of that hour I was eating Taco Bell.
Right.
So, but that was like 10 minutes of my time.
We're still talking about 50 minutes. This is absurd to me. Like, all right, so how does it take an hour?
My eyes take the same amount of time as my face do. I should have brought my makeup. You should have. Yeah. I have this little box of brushes, and I think there's probably about, I don't know, like 40 brushes inside of it, and each of those brushes does something different.
I mean, so that kind of thing to me is not super surprising. I've dated enough women to know, like, I've seen literally like what I thought was initially like a clothes drawer, and she was just like, no,
it's a drawer of makeup.
She literally opened it up, and I was just like, okay, like, so that's not surprising me. What I from that relationship, I was just like, yes, you have all of these things, but you don't use all of these things like every day.
No, you don't.
So
not
like,
every day.
Yeah, so like in my head, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's just options. Like, and that's sure. There's some people out there that just like have a bunch of shoes or whatever. It's the same thing. So, I am still very curious as to like, walk me through this. Like, walk me through the process of like, we're putting on. I don't know what anything is. Like, I've heard like concealer and all this nonsense and stuff, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Well, a lot of people start off with their base, which is the base of your makeup. Okay. I start off with my eyes a lot of the time because if you do your base first, and then sometimes if you do your eyes, you can have something that's called fallout, which is your eyeshadow will start falling on your face.
Okay.
So then it ruins the underneath of your eyes. Oh,
I mean, the recording is fine. Just the TV's going nuts. Let's see what happens if we do this. Oh.
Did it die? Okay.
Questions is it back? Maybe? Sort of? There we go.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Strange. First time that's ever happened. But
yeah.
Sorry, it probably. Do you remember where you were?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, yeah, I start with my eyes and I prime my eyes. So it's basically putting a base down so the eyeshadow will stick to your eye, but not only stick, because you can have your eyeshadow stick to your eye without a base, but it'll help everything go on smoother. And on top of that, once you do your base, your face makeup, it'll match the top of your eye. Okay. So it's not two different colors. So then I go in, I have a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes. I'm sure you've heard of those before.
Sure. Yeah.
So
like I'm not completely oblivious, I guess.
Okay.
But it's like
you said, yeah, you've had girlfriends. So
yeah.
Sure
so like I've seen it. It's just one of those things that like is just I've seen it from afar.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense, but
yeah, and I just start going in with eyeshadows, but I use a lot of different eyeshadows. Like I think this eyeshadow look is 5 different eyeshadows.
Okay.
5 different colors.
So I'm looking at this right now, trying my best to be like, where are the 5? Because I don't see
a lot of them are similar, but
okay.
I try to do as much blending as possible. So sometimes you need lighter colors to blend out the darker colors.
Okay.
I tend to like to do the dark on the outside and work my way in, and the lighter goes more to the top. And then the 5th one is just the shimmer in the middle.
Okay. All right. That I guess that adds up. I just it's something that as the most stereotypical dude you don't think about, or you don't really put much thought into, I guess.
Yeah. But you see, that's where like the art comes from.
Right.
Blending.
You can do all kind of different stuff. Like you have that's the reason why when I first saw the whole Cheshire drawer thing, I was just like, I get it. Like I get it from like an artistic sort of thing. I used to do a lot of like drawing when I was younger and like physical art and whatnot. And so like I understand the appeal of it. It's still hard for me to wrap around the thought of doing it for an hour. That is a little absurd to me.
For me, no, there are some people who hate it. Like they hate putting on makeup and they can't bother to sit there for an hour. And I totally get that, because when I say it out loud, I'm like, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. But for me, it's so relaxing, and I love doing it. But there are times where I'm over it and I'm like, oh my god, I just want to be done already, please.
It's like I have stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, I got home today to get ready. I took a shower, washed my hair, blow dry it, and then did my makeup. And from the time I got home at 5:40 until 7:30, is how long it took me to get ready.
Like in my head, when I threw out the 7:30, I was like, all right.
No, when you first said that, I was like, that's perfect, because I can go home and get ready. Because I was thinking, okay, after I get off work, I'm gonna have to go straight there. So at least.
Yeah, no, I generally tend to like doing these later in the evening anyway, because it gives me time to edit the one from before, and like I can focus on other stuff, or could just not be productive at all and sit down and play video games or whatever. So especially on like today, which is a day off that I normally have. So but that will soon be going away, because I have some other ideas for videos. I can kind of bounce this off of you later. But because I do want to at some point talk to you about why you haven't made any YouTube videos. Yeah, if you're so into this kind of thing.
Okay, so the reason why I haven't made a YouTube is because it is so saturated. The beauty community on YouTube is so saturated. And like I can do it, and I know it's going to take a lot of work and effort, which I'm not afraid of. It's just how much work and effort is it going to take for me to actually start gaining followers and subscribers or whatever. And I don't know if it'll be worth it because, like I said, there's just so many, and it's so competitive. And I've heard that the beauty community, some of those girls are, it's catty, yes. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just doing this for fun. Now, I thought about doing like an Instagram page.
So,
but
as far as it comes to YouTube,
yeah,
a lesson that I learned the hard way, because this is my second major foray into like YouTube and making videos and stuff. Part of the reason why the first time didn't work out was because I had that mindset of like, I need to make sure that I'm making stuff that gets views and like, oh man, there's so many gaming channels. Like, this is super saturated, and that burned me out so fast. I think I had some other friends to help me out with it too, but like we were going strong for like 2 years. And by the end of that second year, I was just like, I hate this. I don't like doing this. This isn't fun. This is bad.
That's another thing that I've heard from a lot of beauty YouTubers as well. Is like a lot of them take breaks because they get burnt out or they run out of ideas and how to keep things interesting.
So that's why this time around, sure, at some point it would be cool if this was like what I did full time. It'd be nice. But I don't care about that for now. For now, it's just like, this is fun. I enjoy having conversations with people. So if I can do that and then have an outlet to put that on the internet where other people can also enjoy it, that's it. That's where the expectations stop really for me. It's like, I get to enjoy it. Other people get to enjoy it. That's it. I don't care how many of those people enjoy it. I don't care how long the videos are. I don't care. Like all that stuff.
That's the right mindset to have.
That's the only reason I bring that up is because like I've heard that multiple times when people are just like, but what if nobody watches and stuff? It's like, that's not it. That's not the way to look at it. Or at least it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be the way that didn't work for me and doesn't work for other people. So like,
no, it's good to have your current mindset for sure. But I thought about it for a while, and my boyfriend actually.
Oh, he's talked to me before too.
He made me a YouTube channel.
Oh.
He like surprised me, and he's like, "Here you go." I forgot what it was called, but it was like Mariah's makeup or something like that. It was super cute. But because he was all in it and he was really into it. But part of me is like, I don't know if I'll be that interesting enough. Like, part of me thought about asking Leia, because I'm like, her and I doing a makeup, because she's also really into makeup, doing a makeup channel together, girl.
Yeah. I was thinking about having her back on here at some point.
I mean, she's such a character.
Yeah, Jesus.
that would work. She could make a YouTube channel. And
I've tried. I've suggested that to her many a times.
Because she's so unique and like lovable and herself. Yep. She has such a big personality. I think she would do great.
I think she's doing the idea that you had. Well, not think she is doing that. She has like the Instagram now where she's like posting like fitness stuff. And things like that.
That's
and
true.
It's, like, it's cool. I don't know. There's something about YouTube that is a little bit different for me personally. I social media for me, which is going to sound weird from the position that I have at my job. I don't necessarily like social media. I don't like the small snippet of it. Like,
okay,
I don't like the fact that it's limited in what you can put out there. So like, if you look at Twitter, you're limited by how many characters you can use.
Yeah.
Like, even in a picture, which there's the saying, picture can tell 1,000 words or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, even in a picture and like a small little thing underneath it, for me, when it comes to substance, that's not enough. Like, that's why I like doing these long form podcasts, because you can really get into the meat of different things. So that otherwise you wouldn't really get from like a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video or something like that. So, not to say there's anything wrong with that. I have plans to making shorter videos too, but like, no matter what I make, I think this is like the mainstay. Like, I'm never gonna not make these, because I think these are very important and I get a lot out of them. So
I've listened to a couple of your episodes, and I get a lot out of it too, because I learn a lot about you and whoever your guest is for that week. And you guys get into some really interesting topics.
It
So
is.
I think it's interesting.
I like it. I that's somebody asked me the other day. He was like, "What kind of music do you listen to when you work out?" And I was like, "I don't. I listen to podcasts. Like that's just my thing. Like I'll literally have like Joe Rogan or like
I was about to ask you what kind of podcasts you like listening to.
So Joe Rogan's definitely in there. Sometimes his stuff gets too in the weeds though, and I'm just like, I'm good. Like I don't like it, especially if I'm in the middle of a workout. I was like, if it's too interesting of a topic, then I get out of my workout and I'm more interested in that. And then it needs to be like just right.
That happens to me when I'm working out too, because I'm terrible. I watch stuff when I'm working out.
No, I mean that's a pretty common thing. Like, people have TVs in there.
But like, I'll just stop and watch, and I'm like, yes, I'll be like squatting, and then I'll just sit down and I'm like watching whatever I'm watching. Like, no, Mariah, get up.
Yeah. There's a thing to do.
Yeah.
There's another. I listen to Bill Burr's podcast. Big fan of his.
Okay.
And there's another YouTuber it's super weird. His name is Mike Falzone. He's a comedian, but he does a podcast with his wife, and which is a hairdresser. Like I think she's like a.
I think I've heard of this before. I think my roommate listens to this.
He's been around for a really long time. Which is strange because if you were to go to his channel, it wouldn't seem that way. He doesn't have like a huge following, which is crazy. But like, he's part of the reason why that's like changed my mindset of just dude, have fun. Like, don't look at if you look at the numbers, the shit's gonna get miserable. Because if he did that, I don't think he'd still be making videos. That dude puts out like maybe 3 videos, sometimes 4 a day. He pumps them out. He pumps them out. Like, it's all different stuff. Heck? Some of it's like excerpts from like his stand-up routines. Like, he'll have his wife will record them, or somebody else will record them, and then he'll upload them. That's cool. Which he's hilarious, by the way. I don't know. I hate seeing comedians and then like no one knows who they are, and I'm just like, how? This person's so good.
So that's how you do it. You word of mouth.
Yeah. Go check out Mike Felsen. He's good. But yeah, I mean that I used to listen to this. You've heard of Rooster Teeth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so they had these 2 companies that were like kind of offshoots. It was like Achievement Hunter and it was Funhouse. Mm-hmm. I used to listen to both of their podcasts, but I think I told this story the last time. I'll repeat it. Who cares? This goes into the folder of like never meet your idols.
Oh no!
I went to PAX East one year and I got to meet them, and it could have been so many different things, but it was a bad interaction. It was really bad. I actually think it exists somewhere on the internet on their site.
Oh really?
Because basically what happened was this is so stupid. I made T-shirts that basically said thank you, and then it had the logo for my old YouTube channel on it. I was like, you guys like motivated us, blah blah blah. But they took it as me like trying to like get a job at Rooster Teeth essentially. I was like, that's not what I was going for. And like the crowd started booing and shit. And I was just like, all right, you guys can have these shirts. Fuck it. Like, but that being said, I've after then have gotten back into at least watching like the Funhouse stuff. Like, I still watch their stuff because they're still funny. Mm-hmm. But that it was interesting to go through that and just be like, oh, they're human beings too, and they're not like that, which helps me do this now too, because I'm a lot more cognitive of like how people perceive me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that interaction was just like, they were just having a bad time or whatever reason behind it, but I don't know.
I went to Disney the day after my birthday, the year before last. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was 2 days after my birthday. I saw Fall Out Boy the night before, and then me and my sister took the next day off and went to Disney. And we were on Space Mountain, and when we got off of Space Mountain, they have these special cast members who you can pay like a lot of money for, and they take you around the park and explain different like Disney facts to you and get you in the back of the rides or whatever to get on the ride. And Pete Wentz, I like spotted one of those people, and then Pete Wentz, I saw him and I was like, and I like froze. I love it. I've loved Fall Out Boy since I was like, I don't know, 12 or something. So I like turned to my sister and I was like, Sheila, I just saw Pete Wentz, and she's like, what? And I was like, look, he's over there. And she's like, well, go to him, go. And so we start walking, and he's with 2 other people, and he's with the cast member up front, and then there was one of his friends who was a photographer, and then I guess it was like his manager or something. Sure. So I like sprint up to them. No. Yes, but I tapped the manager. I was like, hey, hi, can I get a picture, please? And he was like, okay, hold on, give me 1 second. And then Sheila was like, it's her birthday. And I swear that's what got him to like say okay.
He's like, all right.
Yeah, so he talked to Pete, and Pete was like, okay, fine, that's fine. And we started walking, and he was like, you guys have your phone? And I was like fumbling. I was shaking. No. I was so nervous. We pulled out the phone, and he was like, let's just kind of get away from all of these people to take the picture. And we did, and he was really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I told him that I went to the show, and he thanked me, and he gave me a hug and said happy birthday. So I was like,
what a great wholesome interaction.
No, it like made my year, my life. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, he was really nice.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry you had such a terrible interaction.
It's fine. What's funny is I feel like I repeat the same stories over and over. But it's fine.
I do too.
There's like literally that next year we went to a convention, and we were helping some other people out that were way more famous than we were, but we just happened to be there. And it was in Florida. It was at a OIX that we have once a year around here. It's like a tech expo essentially. It's like video games and tech, I guess. We're there, we're shooting stuff, and a kid comes up to me and was like, hey, I watch your YouTube channel. And that was the first time anyone had ever recognized me, and I was just like, oh, okay, hey man,
that's
like what's
so
up?
Cool.
It was super cute, and like it was interesting. He ended up giving me and Neil like these Power Ranger like trading cards essentially. Nothing to do with our channel. We've never done anything with Power Rangers whatsoever. He was just like, I gift, And I was like, hey, thanks, man. But yeah, it's interesting how many times. I think at some point, though, I tell this story too often, and at some point I feel like one of the people from Funhouse or Rashif is going to be like, hey, stop telling that fucking story, dude. But I don't know. Do you think you're most likely going to go like the Instagram route? That's like the thought process.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards mostly, because I'm on Instagram probably way too much, more than I should be. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do that.
I was for a spell.
See. Maybe I'll talk to Leah and we can
get something started. If nothing else, that's going to be my new goal now. I'm going to bother both of you until it happens. Yeah. Because I've bothered her enough, and now I can bother you, and then maybe
either that or I should just take videos of whenever I do my friend's makeup, because I do my friend's makeup a lot, and I like it. It's fun.
You know what would be pretty cool? I'm sure it already exists, but I'm not going to look it up. You could do like something along the. I don't know if you could really do that with makeup, because I would imagine you have to be still for some of it, right? Like you can't really talk. But I was going to say
you can talk.
Okay, so like you could have like something kind of like. I know there's a thing for this one guy who he'll brings dudes over to his barbershop, and he has like basically podcasts, but with one person in the chair. I think it's literally called In the Chair is the thing, and he like cuts their hair while he's talking with them.
They have YouTube videos like that too. Yeah.
For makeup.
I mean, I think I've seen one for hair cutting, but a lot of people do that for makeup. Like they'll get celebrities and they'll do their makeup and have them just talk. So basically what we're doing, but just doing makeup. I thought about that too. I'm like, maybe I should do Joe's makeup.
Oh boy. I have to shave this beard off at some point. You do some eyes.
No, there's some male beauty YouTubers who have full beards. Maybe not a mustache.
Yeah.
But they definitely have full beards.
How do you have a beard with no mustache? That would bother me.
Just the beard?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he
like
has a
bald
mustache
up here? Like that's...
Yeah, I think so.
I guess, hold on.
Maybe it's not like the full... Actually, yeah, I think it is. Manny MUA, I don't think he has a mustache.
What's his name?
Manny. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
That's what this is.
Real quick. Oh, Oh, okay. We can let everybody see. Okay. I'm pretty sure he does not have a mustache, but he does have a beard.
What's his name?
Manny M.U.A.
Eminway?
M.U.A. Stands for makeup artist.
Ah.
Many more.
Many more. I see.
Ah.
I see. Okay.
See?
All right. I guess that works.
Yes, and like his face is beat.
Yeah.
Beat to the gods.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people give him crap too. Like they'll be like, "Why don't you shave it?" Blah blah blah. He doesn't like to. Yeah.
Dude's on look.
Look at that guy. He has a mustache.
Is that not the same person?
No.
No.
No. That's his palette, though. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. I'm just like, wait a minute. Yeah, the cheekbones, I guess, are different. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is never.
Round 2, I'll come back with my makeup brushes.
That's the game plan. I don't know if I would commit.
You got this, Joe.
Oh my god.
I think it would be fun.
It would be funny. I don't know about that.
It would be fun.
Maybe. That's a big maybe from Joe. I'll probably do it. All right. I hate
do it
this
for the
TV.
views.
Do it for the views. There it is. That's called peer pressure, folks. I don't know what just happened on TV, but I'm just gonna ignore it.
It's fine.
It's all right. I had one more question for you, and I'm losing it. I'm already losing it.
I have a question for you. Are you into true crime?
Am I into true crime?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm. Yes.
Do you listen to any true crime podcasts?
I didn't know that was a thing. So
what do you
now?
Yes, there's podcasts for literally everything.
That's true. I
watched The Bachelor.
Okay.
Confession. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I do it because of my grandma. I'm a good granddaughter.
Okay.
And I do it because she loves The Bachelor. So I call her and I get her opinion on what happened. But then I just kind of got hooked, and now I'm watching it. Yeah. But they have a podcast for The Bachelor. That show though.
Reality TV is
God.
rough on me. Like there's sometimes I was literally at Hunter's house not that long ago, and they were watching something where basically everybody's in like these different rooms, but they can interact with each other.
Is that Netflix show? That new Netflix show?
I think it was on Netflix. So yeah, but like no one knows who each other. Like,
and it's like a catfish thing.
Yeah. I sat there and watched that, and I was just like, "This is interesting, but I don't want to see the next episode." Like that was the only caveat to that is the Naked and Afraid shit. I can watch that for like hours. I love that show.
That's a good show.
I love it.
That's a good show.
But which we can definitely get back to true crime if you have more questions.
Yes.
But my taste in television is that of a 40-year-old housewife. I love watching like crime dramas, like in NCIS. That's my shit. Lucifer. Yeah. That's my shit.
I haven't watched it. I heard it's really good though.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's cool for like the nerdy kids. They're like, oh, I read the comic book, and it was like, but it's
so it was a comic book.
It was a comic first.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Like he's like in like the DC like universe thing too. Like he Lucifer exists.
Does it intertwine with like Flash
barely.
And Arrow? Okay.
Barely. There's like one major thing that intertwines, but that's it. But everything else is just his own story, and it's very much like a crime drama that just so happens to have this dude. Okay. I love it. That is my shit. Interesting. But back to true crime. What were you? I don't know if you were ending there with the podcast thing, or if you had something else you had to
Yes. Okay. One of the podcasts I would recommend is My Favorite Murder. It's a true crime comedy podcast.
All right.
Yeah, and it's these two girls. They're hilarious. It's really good, and like they get to the nitty gritty stuff, but they also kind of lighten it up a bit. So it's really interesting. And the other one I listen to is Serial Killers. That one's just like that one gets into like all the details. They do multiple episodes on whoever the serial killer is for that week or whatever. But yeah, they get really into the details. But that one's definitely more dark.
So how does that even go? Is it literally just like, hey, we're going to talk about this guy today? And then you're just like, all right, well, this is his first murder.
They normally start with like the background of the serial killer, like how he grew up. Normally something happens when they're young. Not always, but most of the time it has to involve some head injury or something, or just the way that they were treated when they were younger. And then it goes into like the different murders and how they got caught, or if maybe they didn't get caught. Yeah. But I just find that so interesting.
I'm definitely gonna listen to that now. I guess adjacent to that are like Prison Break stuff. That stuff's super interesting to me. Like how people find. There was this
how people find ways to break out.
It's like it's insane. There was this guy in China. He's like a Chinese dude who broke out of prison like 5 times.
What?
And they kept escalating it every single time, and then
they kept making it harder for him.
Yeah, and he was just like, he literally the last time he's like, I'm breaking out of here, like yelling at the guys, and they're just like, no, not this time. And he's like, sure enough, he does it again. What was crazy was like they described one of the times he did. I think it was like the 4th time he broke out. He was gone. He was like hanging out in the wilderness, basically living off the land for a good bit.
Naked and afraid.
Yeah, naked and afraid for a little bit. Or jumpsuit and afraid, but he was out there, and then he went into civilization one time. That's the other crazy thing. So he did this during I don't know what war it was, but he did this during
a war.
Yeah, so like he broke out. He went to jail during the war, and by the time he broke out, it was over. So they were talking about how like it was just like, oh, this is different. Like everything had changed from the time he was in jail. That was really cool. And then he met on a bench. He was just sitting down, and a police officer sits down next to him, just taking a break, just so happens to be there. And I was just like, this isn't true. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, this actually happened. Wow. So like he sits down, and they talk, and at a certain point he just breaks and is like, yeah, it's me. I'm the guy that's always breaking out like over and over. Like... Well, the officer just was like, he didn't like turn him in or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, he like literally gave him some food, and then like just went on his way. And then, but what sucked was they became friends, and at a certain point the officer stabbed him in the back and did turn him in. And then that like made him really angry to like officers and authority and whatnot. It's an interesting story, very interesting story.
That sounds interesting.
But yeah, that's like Prison Breaks. I don't know if you watch like live PD stuff.
Oh yeah, I have before.
So good. I love that stuff too.
Cool. I got pulled over for the first time the other night.
Oh.
It was nothing bad. It was nothing bad.
All right.
My tail light's out.
Okay.
And I tried to fix it, but apparently it didn't work. And I think it's an electrical problem, but I thought I was going to be way more nervous than I actually was. I was actually calm. And he asked me if I knew, and I was like, no, I had no idea. Oh my God. But I didn't get a ticket. I was like, yes. But yeah, so I need to get that fixed.
Oh man. So my mom used to work in law enforcement. So I've been pulled over a couple of times. But when I would get pulled over, they would recognize me, and then they'd be like, get out of here.
What'd you get pulled over for? Like speeding?
Speeding usually. Speeding and like taking turns that I shouldn't be taking, like making U-turns where I'm not supposed to. I don't do that anymore. I'm a pretty cautious driver now. But this is like when I was like 23, 21, even as far back as like 17, 18.
That's lucky though, you don't get a ticket.
Yeah, I've been pulled over in Florida once. Just once.
Oh, so where'd you get pulled over before? Where were you living before that?
Oh, in South Carolina. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Okay.
Grew up in a little town right outside of Columbia called Bishopville. It's a terrible city. And it's bad. I mean, I don't really think I've talked about this much. There were 2 high schools essentially. It's South Carolina, so it was very
I've spent a lot of time
like,
in
really
like
bad.
North Carolina and been through these small towns, so I know exactly what you're talking
it's
about.
It's bad. It's not good, but like North Carolina.
But it was segregated?
Basically. So like the way they did it was, if you were trying to get into that school, name of the school, I don't know if it still exists, but very obvious. It's literally called Robert E. Lee Academy. So take that as you will. But if you were applying for that school, it would cost one price. And then if I were to apply for that school, it would drastically increase the price of for entry to the school. So like they made it so that it was really difficult for any non-white person basically to enroll in the school.
Yeah.
So which sucked. But like growing up, it was one of those things that was just like, oh yeah. Everyone knows like what's happening here, but like no one did anything about it.
None of the parents could do anything about it.
I mean, it's one of those things that the parents that are there or the parents that have their kids enrolled at a school like that, they don't necessarily care. They probably don't think it's good. Like I don't think they're like, yeah, keep them out. It was more of like, I got my kid in. That's all I care about. Like, is the education good? Yes. All right, cool.
But I'm saying, what about the other parents?
Oh, they definitely didn't like it. But like, I'm assuming that there was no real legal action they could take. So at that point, it was just kind of like, all right, cool. What are we gonna do? Like,
so you guys just went to a different school?
Yeah, we just went to a different school. Which to me, it was fine. I had friends that went to both. Like, I did stuff outside of school, so it was just like, whatever. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. But I forgot why I brought up South Carolina now. Oh, you were talking about like me getting pulled over.
Yes.
And
you grew up in South Carolina.
I grew up in South Carolina.
Yes.
I think I got pulled over in Florida for the exact same reason. It was like a tail light thing.
Oh really?
Yeah. This is like a car ago, though. My car is like, I don't know, like that's a 2013, I think. I had a 2004 Taurus.
How was that?
So a silver piece of something. It got me from point A to point B, which is fine.
That's my car. My car is a piece of crap. It's a 2005 PT Cruiser.
Oh, okay.
And it's awful.
I've driven those before, though. Those are...
My car is possessed or something. I don't know.
Just does what it wants?
Yes.
You remember that?
I've put so much money into this car. No. It only has 65,000 miles, something like that, 67,000 miles on it. And we've replaced the transmission. We've replaced like normal things like tires and brakes and stuff like that. But I can't go past 50 in my car. Can't go on the highway. If I go on the highway, if I push it past 50, it starts shaking. And one time I was driving back from Disney with my sister and it just dropped to 40 and I couldn't go any faster. And so then I just pulled off, turned it off, and kept driving. You said it's a 2005? Yes.
Huh. Have you had anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I've taken it into the mechanic so many times. They thought it was a computer.
Yeah.
They thought it was a computer problem, and then they thought that it could possibly be engine mounts. They thought it could be the transmission as well, but it was gonna cost $2,000 to replace the computer.
That kind of stuff is not cheap.
Yeah, and I already put like, I want to say I put like $4 or $5 grand into my car already. Jeez. And it's not worth that at all. So I'm just gonna drive it until it dies.
That's basically what I did with my car. I drove it until I didn't like it anymore, and I was just like, I need a new car. And then I ended up selling it to a friend.
You did your friend dirty.
Well, he knew what he was buying. And it was like, you remember AJ?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw
you bought your car?
Yeah, because he had moved back here from like California.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I just need something to get me from point A to point B. I'm like, this can do that. It will be a terrible drive while you do it, but you can do that with this car.
So what did your car do?
So it would just... These are things that I fixed before I sold it. I'm not an asshole. But it was an air intake problem. Basically, as I would drive the car, it didn't have enough air to mix with the gas that it was taking into the engine. So it would just kind of stutter and then just stop. Just randomly.
My car does that sometimes too. Where like shutters.
Yeah. At lights, like if you stopped and then you're trying to go for it and your car's just like, nah. I'm good. I don't
So
want
maybe that's what's wrong with my car too.
take a look at it. I mean, the hose on the, it's a very prominent thing in most cars. Like it's like you literally see like this black or like silicone like kind of translucent hose. You look at it, you're like, oh, there's a hole in it, and you just kind of go, okay, cool, replace that.
Okay.
Like it's really simple fix, but that's why when you were talking about the 50-60 thing, I immediately wrote that off because that's not what my car did at all. Like I could push it, it would be bleeding gas, but I could push it like past like 60. But yeah.
No, mine is, I don't know. It has a whole bunch of problems.
I tell myself the next time I buy a car, it will be an electric car. Like I like this car. It's like a weird hybrid. I'm upset that
we have a hybrid. That's cool.
So
environment.
I think that term means too many things. Because when I got that car, I was like, "Oh, cool, hybrid." And then, like, as I was looking at it at the dealership, I was like, "But where do I plug it in, though?" And they're just like, "Well, you don't." And I was like, "Wait, so then what is this?" It's like, "Oh, well, it charges off of the brakes." And I was like, "That makes sense, but can I just turn it into an only electric car?" And they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "So what's hybrid then?" Like, I get it. Like the whole the premise is, there's 2 batteries in the car. There's one battery that's like your normal car battery, like your starter, basically. And then there's the other battery that works in tangent with the engine that basically makes the car extremely more fuel efficient. Cool. I get it. It's not the hybrid that I want. I want something I can pop into an outlet.
You want a Tesla.
I want a Tesla.
Those things are freaking cool.
That's every time I see someone driving around with them, I'm just like, let me get the keys for 2 seconds. I just want to drive this thing around.
I sat in the back seat, and the whole top is made of glass, so you can look up. And I was like, "Oh, look, a bird, a plane! Wow, look at the clouds."
That's definitely. I don't know if it'll be a Tesla the next car I get, but it might be a Tesla.
That's the hope.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the goal.
Those things are so cool.
I still haven't remember the initial question I was going to ask you, so it's just gone. We'll pick it back up on part 2.
I know we're talking about true crime. Did we get past that thought?
I don't know.
Have you ever had anything cool, or not cool, but have you ever experienced anything true crime related, I guess, in your or close calls, or
I've had
a friend of a friend?
I've had close calls with like me being
a victim,
a story, like not really a victim, like yeah. But I've never known anyone. I'm like, yeah, that guy got away with murder. Like, no, I've been very fortunate, and I think I've been lucky that the people that I've been around have been probably too straight-laced, I guess, like growing up.
Well, that's good. At least you haven't had to deal with any drama.
It's terrible.
No,
it's boring is what it is.
Oh
no, the one like near-death thing, I was at a camp at one point, and we were sliding down this like waterfall thing, which in hindsight, maybe you don't bring kids, let alone people, to a waterfall where one is a fall off, like an actual fall off, and the other one is a pool. So yeah, I'm going down this thing like, yeah, having a good time sliding, and then it's literally like a Y, like
a fork.
Yep, you go left, you're okay. You go right, you're going into your death for sure. Like you're literally going right on some rocks. So my God. I started going right. There? Yeah, I was like maybe 16, I think. So like I started going right, and luckily one of the counselors like just grabbed my forearm, and I just remember that moment of like feeling the water pull me like towards the edge of this thing, and then this guy pulling me back over, and I was like, yeah, cool, like this is fun. And then like later, like I was like, oh wait, I almost died. Like I was actually almost dead. Like,
oh my God, that's so scary.
That's probably the closest. I mean, that and maybe like drowning 1 or 2 times, but like that's probably the closest I've ever come to like
I think I've had quite a few.
How? Oh, no.
Now that I think about it, I had 2 on the top of my head, but
shit.
that story reminded me of another one. When I was little, we were in a river in North Carolina.
Water's scary.
And
right.
again possessed.
It's off.
Possessed.
I think it has something to do with that
ghost.
fridge behind there because it keeps. Yeah, okay. It's poltergeist.
Okay.
Can you chill out?
So what? Why is it with the fridge? What does that have to do?
I don't know. I every time I hear the fridge click, it does that. So I'm assuming.
So when it turns on, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's interesting.
That's
so yeah, I was in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I was tubing in a river, and there was a little drop. It wasn't very big at all, like a foot or 2. Mm-hmm. And at the bottom, there were a couple rocks on the side. But in that little dip, the stream was really strong for some reason that time. And we were in our tubes, and I flipped off of my tube, and I just went down into the water. And the way that my head landed, it got lodged in between 2 rocks.
Holy crap. So you're just like a head and the rest of your body's getting pushed by the current?
Yes, and my head just lodged in between. So, and I was like, I want to say like 6 or something. So I was like trying to get out and I couldn't, and thank God my dad came and like pulled me out.
Jesus.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then another time we were in, I think we were in Utah. And we were seeing like geysers, and there was a storm coming or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was so freaking windy, and we shouldn't have been out there. Like it felt like a hurricane outside. It was so windy, and we had windbreakers on. And I zipped up my windbreaker all the way because of the hot gas coming from the geysers and how strong the wind was. Yeah, I started to like move away. And if it wasn't for my dad pulling me, I'm pretty sure I would have fell into a freaking hot geyser and like boiled to death.
I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's so funny to me. The
no,
picture
you can
in my
laugh
head,
at it now.
The picture I have in my, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's both like a meme too, but like there's these guys that have like this umbrella and it's super windy and they're trying to hold it and like they just go up. I'm just picturing you just like being taken away. Like
yes, yes. It was terrifying. Terrifying. Oh my God. Awful.
Oh man. I often do think about that though, because there's a lot of times, well, not necessarily in, like just near death experiences, but like even it's back to true crime thing is like just weird shit that's happened. Like there was a dead body like found somewhere between here and the other complex.
Was that the person who was in the suitcase?
I think so.
My friend said it was in his complex. Yeah, I saw it today. And how a woman...
this was not that recent. This was like 2016.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't know there was another one recently. This place
Somebody
is not great.
just... Maybe it was 2016. I don't know. He posted it today. And it was like some woman got into a fight with her husband. I've been burping a lot. I'm so sorry.
Fine. It's the White
Oh my
House.
God. And yeah, they found her husband's body in a suitcase. And she said it was like a game of hide and seek gone wrong.
Wow.
I didn't read the full article, but that was the title of the article. I was like, interesting.
How would one zip up a suitcase from the inside, you say? Like how exactly
How is that a game of hide and seek? And you just forgot that your husband was in there?
Like weeks later, you're just like, man, he's really good at this.
He's so good at hiding.
I can't find him. His job's calling me. He's super committed to this game.
Oh my God.
People are funny.
Yeah. But I almost got kidnapped when I was younger. Twice.
Okay. Twice.
All
right.
Yeah. Once I was in a school. It was an elementary school, and I was with my mom, and she didn't teach, but she like volunteered basically, and she was talking to one of the teachers. Oh my God, I cannot speak. She was talking to one of the teachers, and my mom, she can talk forever. And you know those dispensers that you put a quarter in and you get a pencil?
No.
We
never had one of those. No.
Well, we had
not
one
in South
of those
Carolina.
in our school. Anyways, I was there, and then all of a sudden a lady comes in the school, and she grabs my arm, and I thought it was my mom. I was like, okay, I guess we're going. And I'm holding my pencil, and then I look up, and I was like, oh, you're not my mom. So I like pull my arm away, and she doesn't let my arm go. And so I keep trying, and she doesn't let my arm go, so I start crying, and then I yell for my mom. My mom comes over, frantic, obviously, and like yanks me away from the lady and starts screaming at her, and she just bolts out of the school. Yeah. But what gets me is like, who the hell does that? Like, goes into a school. So, like, who has the balls to do that? To go into a school and steal a child?
I mean, so this is gonna sound
and it was a woman too.
Which that definitely shocked me. I was expecting that to be, but you know what? You know what? So this is gonna sound bad, but kudos on them. That is like probably the best way to go about doing something like that, because you gotta think of it like from everyone else's perspective. Everyone else is assuming that that's your mom. Yeah. So if she can get you from inside the school to outside, that's it. Also, if you're screaming just mom, it can be implied that you're just screaming at her.
At your mom,
not that you're, which terrible, but adds up. Yeah. That's
well, I guess that's why they teach you to scream like stranger.
Yeah, stranger. Oh man, now like they've gotten the whole like giving your kids code words and stuff like that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, like I've seen plenty of like PSAs and stuff like that on that, where it's like people will send, like if you have like kids that are lining up, that they're waiting for their parents to pick them up, like maybe the parents send someone else to pick them up, like an aunt or something.
Mm-hmm.
They give that person like their secret word, so that the kid will be like, "Hey, what's the word?" And they're like, "I don't got time for the word. I don't know what the word." It's like, "Ah, fuck you. I know you're not supposed to pick me up.
You're not the right person." Yeah.
Which I guess is smart. Sad, but smart. You have to do something like that, but
so I guess it's pretty common.
Yeah. It's a little weird world that we live in now.
Yeah.
Especially with schools. That's something I definitely don't envy, like kids now. Like there were things that sucked about going to school, like when I was going to school, but like I don't have to deal with like shootings or stuff like that.
God, yeah.
Like, I mean, my school was a little weird. My school, we had like security because the kids were that bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I've literally seen people get stabbed in the head. It didn't do it that time.
Stabbed in the head?
Like, have you ever seen like an Afro pick kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a metal one of those, just like, yeah. You kept fighting, which was interesting. I was just like, that's sticking out of your head. What are you doing? Like, but I've seen that. I did get to see what has to be the funniest thing I've seen any security officer do, which is take out pepper spray, spray it, but the wind blow it back into her face. I was just like, oh. It was funny.
Not only that, the whole area, unless it's outside.
It was outside, yeah.
Okay, because if you spray that stuff indoor,
it's over. Yeah, anybody in that, yeah.
Me and my friends were hanging out one time.
Okay.
And I know I'm just full of stories.
No, this is great. This is great.
Me and my friends were hanging out one time, and my dad gave us pepper sprays that look like perfume. Mm. And my sister, I don't know why, Sheila, I don't know why, but she had it sitting up on her shelf with all her other, like, not directly with all her other perfumes, but pretty close by. So my friend, her and my sister were fighting, and she goes and sprays it at her. And I was in the other room, and all of a sudden, like, our eyes start watering, and we're like, what is happening? Wrong. It is so strong. My dad was sleeping all the way across the house. We like put all the windows up in the house, and I do not know how he did not wake up.
Wow.
We didn't tell him until much later.
Yeah.
But we would have gotten in so much trouble. But no, pepper spray is no joke.
It's pepper spray and tasers. I think people super underrated. I don't know if you've ever been hit by a taser.
No. Have you?
Yes. It's something else. I remember I've only done it once, but the one thing that was like in my head, I was like, don't pee my pants. That's like super.
Don't pee your pants?
That's a super common thing for you to get hit by that, and like all of your muscles contract. So like
that makes sense, yeah.
Like that's a very common thing to happen. Wow. Luckily, it did not happen to me, but that shit's rough. Like it. I will say though, it's not that it's painful. It's not. It doesn't feel pleasant.
I'd imagine it would be kind of painful.
It's stingy at the spot that you're hit in, but the spot that you get hit in, it hurts. But what's weirder about it is the control that you lose over your body. That's what's crazy. It's like your brain may go, yeah, I want to move my leg, and your body's like, nah.
Your leg's like, nah, bro.
It's not happening. This is I'm staying right here, and you're falling over. That's the game plan.
How long does it take for your muscles to come
back?
Immediately.
Once it stops, once it stops pulsing, like you're fine. That's why like the difference between like the tasers and like the stun guns. Like the stun guns, once the things like stick to you, like they can fire it multiple times, or they can fire it and it will do like timed pulses, so that like you can keep somebody like down. But yeah, they shouldn't be fun, but they are. it's more of like a thing that's like an experience, I guess. It's like, oh, that was weird. Haha, I did it. And then like you go on with the rest of your day. It's not something I would
want to try it.
So you say that.
And then pee my pants.
It is common, but like you get another pair of pants, it's fine, no problem.
Oh
no.
Just in front of all your friends, take turns.
Like they used to do that at police departments around the world, where like they would just you could literally come in and like.
Isn't that like I don't know, I saw it in a movie, but like a thing where you can't have a taser unless you've been tased? I
think that's true because my friend, Mark.
Yeah.
Gomez, yeah, like he had to do that.
Did he?
Yeah. He has a video of it too. It's great.
Really?
I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet.
No,
Next time he's in, you got it. Yeah, it's great. He's literally like two guys holding his arms so that he doesn't fall over, and it's just like the highest pitch I've ever heard him scream. It's great. It's really good. Just like
That's great.
Oh man.
Yeah, definitely.
Some people like I've heard that is like an involuntary thing too. Like you just like air leaves your lungs, and that's just
whatever sound comes out.
Yeah, I I was lucky enough to not do that. I just kind of fell over to the ground, but I also didn't get hit by a stun. It was just a taser, so
that's good.
Yeah, I guess. Probably not good to be electrocuting yourself. It's probably okay.
That's true.
Yeah, might be alright.
I like accidentally electrocuting myself, and that's not fun.
All right.
It hurts. And
we've had you fall out of a tube. We've had you almost.
I am accident prone. I'm very accident prone.
I'm learning that today.
I haven't had anything happen to me in a while.
That's good.
Yes,
we're on the uptick.
When I was a child, knock on wood. But
so how did you accidentally electrocute yourself?
Oh, I was just putting Christmas tree lights on the tree.
Really?
Yeah. This actually happened during Christmas.
This past Christmas? Yeah. You were literally just like, yeah, it hasn't happened
But
in a while.
I'm saying like it's the crazy stories of like the geyser and the rock. No. But yeah, I was just putting the Christmas lights on a tree, and one of the bulbs broke, and the prongs went into my hand.
In my head, I'm just like, how do you get electrocuted from Christmas lights? Because like everything's pretty contained. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they were pretty old too, and like I said, it was the prongs. The prongs, like no, but my hand, it was tingling for like an hour after. Did you experience any of that?
Yeah, like you feel a little tingle, but you have control over like your your
you
body.
Can still move.
Yeah, you can still move.
Definitely didn't feel good.
No.
Though. See, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that's like, it's the same thing as like skydiving or like bungee jumping. Like, yeah, it's just like that. You want that thrill of like doing this thing that's very dangerous, I guess. So.
Have you done it? Have you gone skydiving?
No.
Do you want to?
I do. I was talking to Leigh about that not that long ago. I gotta do it at some point. Right? I don't know about bungee jumping. I think I'm more interested in skydiving. I actually feel like skydiving is way safer than bungee jumping. So
yeah. Well,
I've seen. So there's at least two things that could go wrong with bungee jumping, and there's one thing that can go wrong with skydiving.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen the. Isn't that how? I think that's how Selena died. The singer. No. She was shot. That's right. I don't know why. There's a bungee jumping scene in the movie, right?
I don't know.
I think there was one, and that's whatever reason I stuck in my head. But
maybe.
Basically, I've seen where people bungee jump, and because of the way the rope coils, it wraps around their neck, and it's a wrap.
Oh.
Because you're not only dropping at such a super fast speed, and now you have this thing on your neck. And it just kind of
breaks your neck.
Yeah. There's that, or of course the rope snaps, and then like now you're just falling.
I thought you were gonna say rope snapping or whatever it's connected to. Snaps.
It's
3.
I guess there's 3. That's I'm way more terrified of that than like a parachute or something, like, because at least with like that you have 2 parachutes. Can you stop?
I would do something with a parachute, but I don't think it would be skydiving. Like, I would go parasailing. I've been really wanting to do that.
Okay, all right. I was like, that's the same thing. But then I realized,
you
have water
jump.
underneath you at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the dropping feeling. Like, I like roller coasters, but I don't like to be dropping straight down for too long.
Have you been on those rides that literally just drop you straight down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dr.
Not a fan of those?
No, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I don't like it.
Yeah. I get that. It's just, it's something that I like that feeling. Yeah.
Or you like the feeling that you're like stomach dropping?
Mostly the adrenaline.
Okay. Because I like the adrenaline, but the stomach dropping, not a fan.
I don't know. I just like that. That's the whole thing with like the taser and everything. Stop it. It's literally just like Jordan, just like boom, 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 boom.
Isn't he supposed to be working?
He probably is, and that's why I'm getting a bunch of messages. But I haven't done enough stuff like that recently, though. I need to get back on that. I used to do stuff like that all the time. I used to go like kayaking and all that good stuff,
Kayaking's fun.
Like whitewater rafting and stuff like that. But I've not.
Whitewater rafting?
Yeah,
that's scary.
It is scary, but like that's also another one of those things. It's just like the rush of doing it is super fun. Like
I like tubing.
That's not the same. It's close.
I went tubing in Colorado, and there's like some like 6-foot drops that you go down. Yeah, so
okay, maybe
adrenaline.
Yeah,
but I don't know about whitewater rafting. That's a little.
It's fun.
What if you get thrown out of the raft?
You turn over. So, I guess it's more like whitewater kayaking.
Okay.
You're in your own thing. You've got your paddle.
Okay, yeah.
You're just going down some rough waters, essentially. Yes, you can flip over, but like you literally just think and flip yourself back up. Like it's not that bad. I have seen horror stories of people like flipping over and like losing their paddle. That's scary because then like if it's deep enough, you got to get out of that thing and like get up, because I don't know how long you can hold your breath, but like
no, that's terrifying.
But luckily, I haven't had to deal with that. So but I also haven't done a lot of like I used to do all kinds of outdoor stuff. I did try to go to like a botanical garden around here one time.
Like the blue something.
What was it called? Something botanical garden. It's like not that far from here.
Is it in Winter Park?
It's either, I think it's in Altamont Springs.
Oh.
Maybe it is in Winter Park. I don't know. I went there once. But there's not like. Have you lived in Florida? Like from all your life? Are you from around here?
Okay. Well, I'm from Miami. Okay. But I've lived in Orlando for, I want to say 8 years? 7, 8 years?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so I've lived here for roughly around that same amount of time.
I've lived here for 7 years. No, longer than, no.
I moved here
I want to say 7.
The end of 2011. And I've been here since.
I've lived here since 2012.
So like the reason why this is so shocking to me is because I remember seeing you at like tournaments and stuff.
For Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing you from back then, but that was like stuff in Georgia and like every now and then it was in Florida.
I don't think I went to Georgia for it. No? I went to a couple YCS. I went to one YCS in Miami. I think it was in Miami.
I know, I've been to one in Miami, but this is long ago.
It was a long time ago. And then I've been to a couple regionals around Florida, but I don't think I ever went to Georgia.
Maybe it was the few that I've been in Florida. I don't know. It's just funny to me because I was like, somebody was talking to me the other day. He's like, I don't know her at all. Like I've literally seen her around.
There's a lot of people who don't know me. Yeah.
But that's part of the appeal of this kind of thing. I get to meet
hopefully people. I don't come off as like annoying.
I'm more concerned that I do. Like, especially during these things, because I'm just like throwing out questions and people are like, I don't want to talk about that. So, like my general rule of thumb is I don't really care. There's very, very few things that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that on camera. Like, it's usually like more personal stuff, but which is more like, and even that kind of stuff, I don't mind talking about it. I just specifically don't like talking about it on camera. But yeah, it's been fun. Do you have any other questions? Because you seem to have had a couple. Or have we exhausted all of your questions?
The only other question I have is like, do you still play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Barely.
Okay.
Barely. I'll play like once or twice a month, if that. Like.
Okay, but that's still pretty.
So, we haven't said where we work, right?
No,
okay,
I haven't.
All right, cool. I don't think I have. All right, cool. So my thing is, there are things about not just that card game, but games of luck in general, which is super hypocritical because I enjoy playing poker and like I'll go to a casino and blow money, but like there's something about like those card games that like for me, I sit down and I play them, and then if things don't turn out well, I feel like I've wasted so much time. And I get so upset and I get tilted and I'm just like, oh, I'm not playing this again. But then like a month or two later, I find myself doing it again and I'm just like, so we're doing this again. And then if it goes well, then I'm like, cool. Maybe we'll do it again next week. And then all it takes is one tournament, one thing. And I'm just like, yep, back to video games or back to literally anything. Yeah, I'm very bad about like just like sticking with that one thing in particular. Like I'll stick with a lot of other things in my life. Like YouTube, I'll come back at it every now and then, but like, but card games in general, like whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, like doesn't matter. Like I'll sit down and play them, and I'm very like, it's funny because all of my friends that also play like card games, it's like a joke now when I get upset about that stuff because they know what I'm gonna say. They know like all the stuff. I'm like, this game's getting a chance. You guys always talking about like. This day, you're really good at it. It's like no one's really good at it. Like they're just lucky. Like they're like, well, why are the same people win all the time? It's a
combination of both. It's skill and luck.
It is.
But a lot of the time, it's luck. Like if you draw the right thing, great. But sometimes you draw crap, and then
and that's the same thing in like poker. Like it's the exact same thing, but for whatever reason, I don't associate them as the same thing in my head. I don't know why. I think it's also the fact that I played Yu-Gi-Oh for so long.
How long did you play Yu-Gi-Oh?
I bought my first pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was 12 years old from a CVS in Sumter, South Carolina. And I remember opening it. I think it was like a Pharaoh Guardian pack. It was really one pack. And I remember opening it and be like, oh man, I got this 7-star chick with the wings. And I was like, this thing's got 2,700 tech. I'm gold. Like, I can't lose. Proceeded to lose every game I played against my brother. But I started playing when I was 12. I think even then I didn't really play. No. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of playing, and then
that was me with Pokemon back in the day. Yeah, I had no idea. I still don't know how to play.
I played it, but somewhere along the line I forgot how the rules worked, and I've only recently gotten into like, oh, okay, that's how you play this game. Like
at least you know now.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of need to, I guess, for my job. So, but yeah, card games are cool. I don't begrudge anyone who enjoys them. It's just they're a lot of money. They're a lot of money, and in order to be profitable or in order to be like to win often, it requires you to invest a lot of time into it. Yeah, I don't have that time. Yeah. Like I barely have time to do the things I'm doing now. Like I just threw on like the whole MMA thing, and I'm even thinking to myself, I'm like, how am I gonna make this work? But like
you got it.
In my head, I'm just like, okay, so this is what my life is now. Like I'm not gonna be able to go to like almost any parties now. Like it's just like so my schedule is now like, okay, so I work weekends, always work weekends. I always I'm in the morning from anywhere between 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm there, and I'm out of there, and then
you work 5 days a week.
I do work 5 days a week. Okay. But I have
one of the days are off. You podcast.
Right, Wednesdays are off. I podcast. the other day off is Friday, and usually I try to edit stuff on that day. I try to just get through all the editing work that I need to get through that day, and then render everything out that day. But now with MMA, the days that I open, which are like Monday, which every other day except for Thursday. I actually open every day except for Thursday. That's crazy. So like Monday, I get in at like 9:30 to 10, and then I'm there until I'm gone, and then right after that I'm going straight into the gym. And then same thing on Tuesday. Wednesday is the one day of reprieve where I actually get to do podcasts and whatnot.
Relax, have White Claw.
Yeah. Thursdays I do have to work, but at night. So if I'm feeling productive, I'll get a head start on editing on Thursdays. And then Friday is just like pump out stuff.
So you have time
I
for
could
MMA?
do it. I do have time for it. I'm thinking about even doing another class on Wednesday morning.
How many are you doing a week?
As of right now, 2.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about adding a third one in there because I do want to compete at some point.
If you're feeling sore.
Oh, I know I'm already feeling sore.
I'm like, do like 2 classes a week for a couple weeks and then add in that third class.
So the thing that's frustrating me about that is I used to do it years ago, and so now hopping back into it now, I'm just kind of like, oh man, you
feel weak.
Well, no, I feel Leia's gonna get a kick out of that. But that's a running joke between the two of us. But the thing is, like, I feel like I've lost a lot of time because I haven't been doing it for so long. Okay. So I feel like I'm having to play catch up, which is a motivation kind of thing, which is cool, but also I have to be careful because I think a lot of that ends up making me make stupid mistakes in trying to rush through stuff. So I'm having to be like, wait a minute, chill out. Like, you have time, regardless of like you may not be able to do what you want to do by the time you're 30, but 31 you'll be fine, like no problem. So it's a lot of that like in my head at the moment of just like easing back into it.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I got back into it.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing something that you like. That
you're
wanting to do.
The thing that sucks is like I feel like I'm only. Flip made the joke of me being the Black Joe Rogan, and I feel like I'm only helping that now. Like literally,
I told my roommate about your podcast because he asked me what I was doing today, and I told him a little bit about it, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds like Joe Rogan's podcast."
No, it's a compliment, I know, but
I'm like, you just take inspiration.
Yeah, I just do. My general thing is like, I'm going to do the thing that I enjoy, and I'm going to try to keep doing that thing until I don't enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, then I won't do it. So I don't think that will ever change for this. This has been always super fun. I don't think that'll change for MMA either. I think, though, at a certain point, I have to decide whether or not if it's healthy to keep going with that. Because staying in shape is one thing. Getting kneed and punched by another dude is another. Like you like there's a degree of fitness and wellness that comes to it, but there's also like a risk thing that you have to think about. Like I think I'm not in the worst possible shape at my age.
You look like you're in pretty good shape.
I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to save the picture that Facebook constantly sends me. It's like, hey, you remember fucking a couple years ago when you were actually in shape? Hey, you want to post this video on your memories thing? And now every time somebody's like, no, you look like you're in shape, I'm like, no. This is me in shape. This is not me in shape.
But you're still in pretty good shape.
I still have like a lot of the strength that I had from back then, just with extra fat now. Because I've spent a lot of time just not working out. But
I get you though, because I'm trying to work out, and I have people who are like, "You look fine. Why are you working out?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get toned."
Like, you don't understand.
Yes, like I have a goal, and I'm trying to meet that goal.
And
like,
you telling me that I'm good right now is not helping.
Like you don't understand where I'm trying to get to. So I understand you in that aspect.
Yeah, but part of the other thing that I guess has been a trend on this thing has been a lot of talking to people who also have like dreams or like aspirations, and it's the reason why I bug Leia about it. It's the reason I'm going to bug you about it, is because like I want to see people do the things that are fulfilling to them. Like, because clocking in 9 to 5, yeah, you're gonna make the money. Like that should be the fuel that like helps you do the thing that you actually want to do. And
I agree.
People sometimes just get stuck at the 9 to 5 kind of thing, and I'm like, that's a mistake. Don't do that.
I know. I'm trying. I'm trying to motivate myself.
Actually, I think that was one of the. It wasn't like a full-fledged conversation, but I think your boyfriend was just like, "Yeah, force her, make her do it." I was just like,
no, he's happy I'm here. Yeah,
I'm happy.
He needs to be on here.
Yeah, I talked to him.
He has a lot to talk about, especially with his band.
Yeah.
Their name's Sunstripe. They're really freaking good. So check them out. Sunstripe South Florida, Instagram.
When's
YouTube,
that next
Spotify.
show that you were saying?
Sunday.
Yeah, this coming Sunday.
Okay,
so I just got out of an engagement that I thought I was gonna have to. I thought I was gonna have to go to Disney and shoot something this weekend. Don't have to do that anymore.
Was it for like cheerleading?
It was for dancing. There's a dance competition there. It's a contest of champions that they have. It's a great show, and I love making it, or love like being a part of it. It's just long days. Like you're literally shooting from like 9 in the morning till like 11 p.m. Just long days, like very long days. And I remember the first time I saw that time thing on the call sheet, I was just like, but how? And
you mean 11 a.m.?
No. There's a list of performances just spanning with like times from, and I was like, oh, these people literally show up for their performance and then they leave. We're just
then
here
they spend the day in the park. Yeah,
it's rough, but
so at least I know. Don't go to Disney on Sunday.
That's bad. Yeah, it's be a bunch of little kids running around.
Yes. Yeah. Bunch of dancers.
I don't know. I do want to have him on. I wanted to do like a more music centric thing. Mm-hmm. One of the smaller video ideas I had was to have all 4 of these seats filled and have people just kind of share. Well, not just with music. I want to do stuff with music, movies, TV shows, but have people share like important or scenes or lines or songs that are really important to them. Okay. And just kind of go around the table and kind of go through those. But I intended on those videos not being nearly as long as like a podcast, just like a really quick video so I can put out. And I get to have fun with the editing, which is where I really like. I don't mind recording, and I work in film and like production and all that stuff. That's cool. What I love doing is editing.
You love editing?
I love it. It's great.
I feel like I would hate editing.
It's so much fun. It's kind of like the makeup thing. You have this palette in front of you, and you're just like, okay, I have full creative control over this.
Like what I can do.
Yeah, what can I do to like make this funny or like make this scene really impactful? Like it's, I don't know. That to me is like the art form that I'm most comfortable in, is like editing videos. So mostly with humor. I love making it funny. Like that's my thing.
Yeah.
But I for my old job I've done a lot of like demo reels and like trying to make things super epic and like, look at this dancer jump off of this thing, like make this like boom or whatever. So, but that's my artsy side, I guess.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you like doing that.
Yeah, it's fun. Somehow I ended up in the profession I'm in now, but I'm making sure that I still.
There's a lot of people who work where we work that have degrees or enjoy doing other things, and they're just not doing them. And I'm like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, like you said, use the 9 to 5 to fuel what you actually want to do.
That's the thing. That's the reason why I'm doing this.
And I know it's hard, but we can do it.
Yeah, I used to kind of use that as an excuse, as like, oh, I don't have time. And then when you really take time to inventory where you spend your time,
that's the thing, is you have to sacrifice something for what you actually want to do. For me, it's
video games. I love sitting down playing video games, but I just don't have the time to do it as often. Now it's more of like a social thing for me, where like I have shit to do throughout the day, and then as I'm unwinding at the end of the day, I'm like, yo Corey, yo Matt, trying to play some Apex Legends? And like they'll be like, yeah, let's play a little bit. And I'm like, Corey, you have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like, one more game. I'm like, all right, buddy. Like, so, but that's kind of what it's turned for me. Whereas it used to be like I would stream
every
6 hours like every day, just sitting down playing video games, and it's fun, especially if you're streaming it and like you're interacting with people. There's a degree to it, but like that time to me is kind of wasted now, and I'd much rather be making this or another video or something like that, and that I can really get some fulfillment out of. Because there, shout out to a lot of like newer streamers. I think that is probably one of the most soul crushing things to do. It is insane the amount of times that you would sit down, stream for like 3-4 hours to no one. When you're first starting off, and it's just like, I thinking about it now, it makes me a little like sad, but it's
that's different.
But that's what you have to go through if you want to try to make it there, and that's why I'm not that interested. That's why people don't see me streaming as often as I used to, because it's like, who am I streaming to? I get way more people that will watch me just make a video. There's more people that will tune into a video than that will watch for a stream. And I know I literally just said at the beginning of this to not worry about that, but this is me being a hypocrite. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. That's still the most important thing.
Yeah. But, and you're doing good. I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you will too once you start your YouTube channel.
We'll see. Once I start something, we'll see what it is.
But yeah, this has been great. Thank you for.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
It's been great. I for sure will have you back again. I don't know. Tell you what. I'm
really into music too.
Okay.
I don't play anything, but that's one of the things that Tyler and I bond over. So if you want to have me for that, or just to come do your makeup.
That's what I was gonna say. If you, all right, I'll give this challenge to both you and Leia. If you make, it doesn't even need to be a YouTube video. You make one video, whether it goes up on Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. You make the video, I will let you do my makeup at some point.
What if it's like a picture? Can we do a picture? Like
nope. Has to be a video. Has to be a video. I gotta make the stakes kind of high here. So you get.
I'm like, I'll post a picture now.
Yeah. That's the problem. I have to make the stakes kind of high. You guys make a video. You do whatever you want.
We both have to make a video.
One of you.
Okay.
I'm trying to put a value on my face right now.
We can go halvesies.
Oh boy.
We can do a half face makeup challenge where I do one half and Leia does the other half. That'll be fun.
If you're gonna do that, then yeah, you can. So there can be one video, but it has to have both of
us.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this, girl. Okay. We can do this.
All right, that's the game plan. I'm sure I've just sold my soul to the devil here.
I'm so excited.
Oh boy. But thanks again. I'll probably have you guys on for the music thing if you want to.
I can be Tyler's plus one. I can be in the back or something.
I'm thinking about just having him on, maybe for a one-on-one at one point.
He has a lot. He knows a lot.
He has such a interesting. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like demeanor.
Yeah, because the weird thing about him is I've known him for a long time, not as friends, but like we've been in the same circle of people for a long time. So it's interesting to see how he has developed over the years.
Yeah,
kind of from the sidelines. So
no, I totally see that because I met him actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, same.
So I've seen. Same.
Yeah, I think I've worked a couple events with him, like as judges, and it's interesting. He's both. I think he's both like matured, but he's also like he's changed in a way, not in a bad thing, but like he's changed, and it's really cool. And if he's willing to talk about that kind of stuff, I'd like to talk to him about that as well as like music and whatnot. Because like I'm into music, but like not. I don't think in the same way that other people are. Like I get into like the lyrics and stuff of songs, like very, very, and it's always like niche shit. Like, have you ever heard of Matt Mason?
Say that again.
Matt Mason.
No.
Or NF as a like.
Yes.
You know who NF is?
Yes.
Okay, all right. No, nobody knows. Literally every time I bring that guy up, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm like, I love. I don't even listen to hip hop that often. But his shit, I will sit down and listen to every single one of his songs because there's so much meaning and like impact behind each and every one of his songs. So a song could sound like garbage, but if there's like some kind of soul behind it, like that's the kind of stuff that I like. So, but I think it'd be interesting to have Tyler on talk about stuff like that too. So
I think he'll do it too.
Yeah, I'll have to bug him about it tomorrow.
I'll bug him for you too.
Appreciate it. Well, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Of course.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to shout out before we call it a night.
Check out Sunstripe. I think it's Sunstripe _ South Florida SFL on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. You can check me out. I'm Mariah _Francisco. I don't have anything yet, but we're gonna make a video. Me and Leia, hopefully, maybe.
All right. Okay.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is great.